Good evening, folks. My name is Jayren Andrews. We're back with Inside Avondale, and I'm your host for tonight. Today's theme is royalty. You all know the game of chess. I have a king and two queens with me tonight. And here to my left, we have Fulton O. Jefferson Jr., the co-founder of the Avondale Youth Council.
How you doing?
How you doing, Mr. Fulton? What made you start the AYC?
Well, I would say back about maybe 9 years ago, me and Ozie Davis, the third, we decided that we needed to do something else in the neighborhood besides just have adults, because adults have a hard time volunteering in the community for community service in the neighborhoods. They got work to do, they got things to do, but every time I had anything for the community council, say a cleanup or whatever, I would have more kids. So we sat down and talked about, well, maybe we'll set up a community council, something for the kids. We started it with the basketball team that Ozie had from Queen City Youth Development. Mm-hmm. So we had nothing but guys. Then they were from the basketball team. We brought them in and started working things and setting everything up. So that's basically how it got started.
Okay. How long has the Avondale Youth Council been up and running?
We're going into our 9th year. This is our 8th year. We just finished our 8th year, so we're going into our 9th year, and things have changed since the original group that we started off with, because now we have girls and all that other stuff. So, things girls wanted to get into.
Mm-hmm. So why are you so committed to it with the fact that you don't like kids?
I don't say I don't like kids, but it's not that I don't like kids. I just think y'all do knuckleheaded things. So, but no, kids in general are good kids. But I was in the Marine Corps and I was a drill instructor for 3 years. And those were kids too. And so they act the same way that you act. They lack structure, they lack things to do. That's the reason they joined the military. So being a drill instructor, I see the same kids because they're 18. You got 17, 18, 19-year-old kids who just got out of high school, or some of them got GED and came in, so they basically have the same problems that the kids out here have.
Okay, then. And with you being the co-founder of the Youth Council, how exactly do you contribute to Avondale?
Well, I'm a volunteer. Everything I do for the community is volunteer. I've been the vice president for numerous years since I've been back, since I retired. I've been on the Avondale Community Council since 97, 98. And right now I'm in my 20th year of retiring. So I retired in 95, and the 1st of January 2015 was 20 years that I've been retired from the military. So to me, giving back to the community that I was born and raised in, because when I was coming up, there was more things to do than what you guys have now.
Mm-hmm. I have reason to believe that you're the mayor of Avondale. Would you like to explain that, please?
That's just the name that was given to me kind of back maybe, maybe I say a little bit, about 5 or 6 years ago. I know where everything is in Avondale. I was born and raised here. I played on 71 when they were building it. My house was right there. My father had a house on Fredonia. The previous 2 houses was right where 71 was at, kind of in the middle of 71 and Fredonia. We lived on Worman, and they bought that. They moved around. We bought that. So I know where a lot of stuff is in Avondale and what Avondale used to be before they had the riots and all that other stuff. So I kind of know where all the skeletons are buried.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then. So what is your opinion of other neighborhoods starting their own youth council?
Well, the problem that most of the communities have with starting a youth council is that they don't have an Ozie Davis, they don't have a Fulton Jefferson Jr. Because it takes dedication. And again, I'm not getting paid for it. Ozie's not getting paid for it. It's just something we like to do. And most businesses and most nonprofits, when they start out, they usually try to budget stuff for staff so they can set up programming and all that. So we don't have that problem with AYC. We put forth whatever funds that we raise to go to the kids.
Okay, then. Is there any advice you would like to give to the current president of the Avondale Youth Council or the rest of the youth?
The difference between the current regime of the youth council president is you lack leadership. You lack making up your own minds of what you want to do. The first kids that we had in, which was guys, and when we started letting the girls, they had a purpose. They wanted to be different. They wanted to do things, and that's the reason you guys are benefiting from those original kids that started, because they was the ones who started up the anti-litter campaign. They were the ones who got going to different organizations, and I took them out with me wherever I went to with the city. Being the vice president, I had meetings to go to. I took the kids because other people in different communities in the city wanted to always know what the kids think about when they start doing stuff.
So do you feel keeping the youth under your shoulder now, you will start to regain that purpose slowly but surely?
Eventually you'll wake up. Some of you will, and some of you won't.
Personally, do you feel I'm waking up? gain that purpose.
You getting there.
You getting there slowly but surely.
You getting there. You'll make it by the time we get done with you.
Yeah. Okay, man. So last week we were talking about how kids had a problem joining the youth council, specifically because of the way you run things. How do you feel about that?
You either gonna hack it or you gonna pack it. That's it. Either you gonna be with it or you gonna be gone. I'm not here to babysit. Ozie's not here to babysit. We're here to make a difference and make kids think of different ways to do things. So, like I said, those same kids that I have as a drill instructor did the same stupid things and crazy things that you guys do now. But the difference is they came into the military to get structure, and that's what structure gives them. So that's what we're giving. That's what we're trying to give the kids now is structure, something to look forward to.
All right, I appreciate it. And you heard it here, folks. Today's theme is royalty, and today's theme is royalty. And right here I have a king to my left, and we'll be right back with a queen, and we'll hear from her side. Thank you, folks.
Let me tell you who to blame. Blame the boy lying at your feet, his body oozing life through the hole in his stomach where the bullet tore him apart. Blame him for challenging you, for not looking away and for not backing down when you pulled out the gun. Blame your mother for bringing you into this world when she was but a kid herself and for dragging you up, not bringing you up. Blame society for not giving you hope. Blame your father for not being there, the man who looked after himself instead of looking after you. Blame the gun in your hand for making you a target, for making you more likely to be picked on. Blame the dead boy, blame your mother, blame society, blame your father, blame the gun, blame anyone but yourself for not being strong enough to put down the gun, to break the cycle.
As days go by, when will you realize that very little will change until you change it?
I am empowered.
Get connected to make a difference. Take the pledge. Text EMPOWER to 69866 or go to IamEmpowered.com. The National Urban League, celebrating 100 years.
All right, folks, and we're back. Tonight's theme is royalty, and to my left we have another queen on the chessboard. Everyone, welcome Miss Edie. How are you tonight?
I'm fine. How are you, Jayren?
I'm doing well, and I would like to know why exactly are you helping the Avondale Youth Council?
It's kind of a long story, and I'll make it short. But I was a nurse practitioner for many years in another city, and I always worked with adolescents and really liked them. When I decided to go back and get my PhD, I did my research with adolescents, and actually looked at kids who were in gangs. And so when I moved to Cincinnati, I kind of wanted to work with adolescents again, and so I was looking for my way around, and Dr. Karen Bankson introduced me to Ozie, and from there I started working with you all.
Working with the youth, how has it helped you personally?
I have learned a lot. The thing that I have learned the most of is how things seem from the other side, and that's what, as a cultural researcher, I like to look at things from somebody else's lens. And so I not only get to look at it from the lens of the adolescent and what it seems like it is, but also from the lens of African Americans. And that has been very enlightening for me. I have learned incredible things.
Ms. Edie, tell me, what is one of your favorite experiences being with the Avondale Youth Council?
I think my favorite experience, there's multiple, and you energize me, and I look forward to coming to be with you every Thursday night. But one of my favorite experiences was when we went to the Freedom Center. I got to know you all better on a more personal level that night, I think, because we were all together and we were out away from the place where we usually meet. But just the conversations in the car and talking with you, I think that was one of my favorite experiences, although there's multiple ones, but that one kind of stands out.
What is your connection with the kids like?
I love the kids. I have been coming to the Youth Council for a little over 2 years now, and the way I have found that I usually kind of become part of the group is to not say anything for a while, to just kind of sit back and listen. And so that's what I did for a long time, but now I feel very interconnected. If I'm not there for a week, it's really a big loss for me. But I feel like when you all come up and hug me when I come, when you talk to me, include me in part of your group, that really is important to me.
From sitting back and listening to what the kids had to say and now interacting with us, what have you learned?
Not interacting with you?
From interacting
with you. The thing that I found really interesting is that there was a lot of African American history that I had no idea about. And so because of a lot of the things that Mr. Tim has gone through, I've learned things I didn't know at all, because we never get that stuff in school. That stuff isn't covered. And it suddenly became, to me, how important it was to cover your history, because it isn't covered elsewhere. And I was extremely grateful for the things that I learned from that I wouldn't have known otherwise.
Okay, then. Are there any plans you're looking forward to with the kids in 2015?
I plan to continue to be a part, as I have been in the past. I hope to be more active. I really enjoy when I get a chance to lead your group, because again, I start to learn things from you that I didn't know before, that really kind of just change my world and how I look at things and how I see things. So it's not so much about what I can give to you, but it's more about what you give to me. And you give me insights and knowledge that I didn't have before, and I so appreciate that.
Is there any advice that you could give to the public or the Youth Council itself?
Get involved.
Get involved.
Teenagers are great to work with. They're a lot of fun, and they're very trustworthy, and I really enjoy working with them. And so if people tend to be a little bit afraid of teenagers, but there's no need for that at all. You just have to get to know them, and it's like anybody, there's no need to be afraid of people that you get to know. So I would say get involved and get to know them and start to work with them.
Starting off, how did you first feel? What was your first impression of us?
That was about 2.5 years ago. I was very impressed, because I thought, if this is the youth of Avondale, then Avondale's in very good shape in the future. One of my first activities I did was to go see 42 with you all, and I think your assignment was to write an essay about what you thought about the movie, so I wrote one too, and I remember reading that. I remember Ozie had me read that essay during one of your meetings, and everybody interacted with me right off after that. So my impression is, if you all are examples of the kids in Avondale, then Avondale is looking for a bright future, because you all have a lot to offer. You're very bright, very caring, and you have been more than open to me.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And one more question is, what gave you the idea to throw a celebration party for Mr. Fulton and Mr. Ozie?
That was actually Angela's idea. She said that at one night. She said we should, because you were talking about how you appreciated them and all they had done for you, and so Angela says we should throw a party for him. We should do something for him. And so it kind of went from there. So I said, well, I would help you throw that party for him. So, and that was a lot of fun. And I know you were a big help in that, because you were really on Ozie about making sure he was there on time that night. So.
Okay. Well, I just want to say thank you, Miss Edie, and we very much so appreciate you.
Thank you.
You all heard it here, folks. Tonight's theme is royalty, and you heard it from a queen ourselves on the chessboard. Please tune in, because we'll be right back. See you later.
Here's my nephew Scruff, about to run into trouble again.
Hey, Bobo, where's your video game? In here. Well, look at this. Uh-oh. It's my dad's. You want to hold it? What'll I do?
You'll see, but that's not the only problem he has.
Hey, here's a shortcut. Not down there, Square. I don't think it's safe. Come on, the coast is clear. I'm not taking a chance, Lance. Oh, no. Well, hello, Dogface. Come to give us your sneakers.
Uh-oh, trouble again, Scruff. What are you gonna do now?
I don't know.
If you get my new comic activity book, More Adventures with Scruff, you'll find out what you can do about bullies, drugs, and guns.
Am I the hero again?
You'll see. And you'll see lots of games.
Cool.
For your free copy of my new comic activity book, write Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. And you'll be helping take a bite out of crime.
I want it.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
I'm only 17, but I know about investing. Believe in something, buy shares in it, watch it grow. So, what if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. I could be one of the first college graduates from my family, the first philanthropist from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there's a second and a third. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Hello, folks. Please follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and on Facebook, hashtag Inside Avondale. I repeat, hashtag Inside Avondale. Tonight's theme is royalty, and again, I have another queen to my left. This is the first alum of the Avondale Youth Council. Please, I'm introducing Ms. Jasmine Humphreys.
Hello, everyone.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm well, Jayren.
How long have you been a part of the Avondale Youth Council?
So I joined the Avondale Youth Council back in 2006. I was a junior in high school, and that's when we started picking things up with the Youth Council.
Okay then. What made you want to join the Youth Council?
Actually, I was just kind of at the Pride Center one day with my mom because she just goes everywhere with me, or I go everywhere with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ozie was talking about a youth council, and then there was some mention from Fulton, and then it just kind of happened.
Okay, man.
And I was in the Avenue Youth Council.
That's pretty self-explanatory. How has it helped you personally being a part of it?
I would say that being a part of the youth council helped me to both like understand the background of some of my youth peers in Avondale, because I would say that I was more like secluded and I stayed by myself, so I really didn't experience some of the things that some of the other kids did. And I was also able to indirectly see some of the community development going on behind the scenes. So going to different community events and everything, it kind of planted some seeds into basically placing me where I am today, working in community development.
Okay. I know dealing with Mr. Fulton and Ozie can be bittersweet. So what exactly was your motivation that kept you in the youth council for so long?
I might cry. But honestly, it was more sweet than bitter, and it was a lot of Ozie. And one thing that Ozie always repeated to me and to other members of the youth council was that the youth are needed. So he would tell me, oh, you can go move to the East Coast. I would talk about how I wanted to move here, move around, go do this and go do that. He's like, all right, go ahead, do it, as long as you come back to Avondale. And I was like, oh, wow, I'm needed here. So, like, those seeds were definitely planted, and I'm staying in Avondale and working in Avondale.
Okay.
So, as long as you plant those seeds and repeat it, you need to let kids know that they're needed. And that was definitely communicated by Ozie, and I'm sure that's why you guys are doing great things.
How does it feel to be the first alum of the Avondale Youth Council?
Oh, wow, it feels amazing. I feel like a queen. I really do. And so it's very, I would say humbling to think about where I started almost, wow, it's 2015, almost 10 years ago.
Okay.
And to see that you guys today are kind of in the position that I used to be in, and now, like you said earlier, you called me an elder. I'm like, wow, I'm an elder. I actually have a position of influence. So based on my experiences, I'm just really happy to share my knowledge and share my experiences with you so that yours can be much better. We can have a brighter future for Avondale.
Okay. And what advice do you have for the future of Avondale and the Youth Council?
Not really advice. What I will continue to say, and I will carry out Ozie's legacy, basically, is to remind you all that Avondale needs you, and that you can be and that you can do anything that you want to do, and that you should not hesitate to reach out to any adults or elders to help you with any initiatives that you want to carry out. So if you see something going wrong down the street and you want to change it, but you don't know how, reach out to somebody. You can really be the change that you want to see. So that's the advice that I would give to you, is reach out to your elders, your queens.
I appreciate it. I really do. And being a part of the Youth Council, how did you deal with Mr. Fulton?
How did I deal with Mr. Fulton?
Yes.
I handled Mr. Fulton with with plenty of care. I will say that. I will say that.
I appreciate the honesty. Folks, please tune in for next week's episode. Tonight's theme is royalty. Today you've heard from a king and two queens. I'm your host, the president of the Avondale Youth Council, Jayren Andrews. And to my left is the first alum, Ms. Jasmine Humphreys. And we all just want to say thank you. And keep us updated on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. # Inside Avondale. I repeat, # Inside Avondale. Till next week, folks. Thank you and good night.
To hear a live broadcast of Inside Avondale online, visit InsideAvondale.com. To have your video considered for broadcast on Inside Avondale TV, use the hashtag #InsideAvondale. Follow Inside Avondale on Twitter. Follow Inside Avondale on Instagram. Like Inside Avondale on Facebook. And please subscribe to Inside Avondale on YouTube. Special thanks to our partners, Avondale Community Council, Avondale Youth Council, Avondale Community Police Partnering Center, Avondale Concerned Clergy, Avondale Running Club, Boys and Girls Club of Greater Cincinnati, Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center, Cincinnati Public Schools, City of Cincinnati, the Community Builders, Inc., Community Building Institute, Coreyville Community Development Corporation, Every Child Succeeds, Gabriel's Place, Hearst Recreation Center, the Home Ownership Center, Local Initiative Support Corporation, Place Matters, Project Nehemiah Ceasefire, Urban League of Greater Southwest Ohio, University of Cincinnati, and Uptown Consortium. Inside Avondale TV and radio broadcast is brought to you by the Avondale Comprehensive Development Corporation, created by Ozie Davis III, produced by Albright Integrated Management.
All right, so on 5, 4, 3, 2.
Jayren Andrews, I am so super proud of you, young brother. I really enjoyed working with you as you prepared your questions. When you sent those to me, it was absolutely nothing to edit. It was right on time. How you chose your theme for the night, super excited. You know, we talk a lot about royalty, and royalty is so important. And to understand the pieces of the chessboard, you know, life is a game of chess, and we want to build kings and queens. And for you to really get that in the last 24 hours shows me how much you're growing. And I just want you to know I am super proud of you.
I appreciate it.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I am
Yes,
super proud of you. When we talk about upper crust, you are an example of what I mean when I say upper crust. That's why when we do what we do here at Avondale, we gonna change the world. So you had a chance to talk to Jasmine. She talked about you are needed. You are. We need you, young black man. Young black man hosts the show. We need young black man to host the show. We love you, man.
Love you too.
Keep doing your thing, and we're gonna keep pushing this envelope far as we can. InsideAvondale.com, #InsideAvondale. Like us on Facebook,
Twitter, Instagram.
Hit us on Twitter, Instagram. You can hit me at Coach Ozie on Swipe, Glide, all that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All that. We want to be reached. We want to be heard. We want to be found. We are Avondale A1 for life.
We're taking over the world. Thank you.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Take time to be a dad today.